Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. I'm going to try and save you $1,000 or two here. This is a 1KD FTV that I think you should be working on yourself if you're in doubt. This is probably the easiest one to work on. It's the Euro 3. It's got the pipe here for the E-jar flow. It's in the HILUX. Just the positioning of the engine and the lack of E-jar cooler. In my opinion, they're the easiest to work on out of all the 1KDs we work on. They're all very similar, but this is... Look, the HILUXes are always, I think, easier. So there's a few things that are different, little couple of bits here and there that are, you could call it a little bit harder, and a couple of things that are a little bit easier. What makes it easier is you can easily get to see the whole wiring looms up over the back there out of the way, instead of having that Prado wiring loom in the way, which is really handy to have it all clear here. But it can be a bit harder to get to some of the clips at the back of the wiring loom on the E-jar valve and a couple of the bolts on that metal bracket at the back there. But that's all in videos in the VIP group, so we're not going to waste time on that. I'm just trying to say a few things. Short video, but I'll make a few points. One is subscribe, turn the bell on so you don't miss even better, more important information. Check all our older videos. Once you get my phone number, it's not a phone number, it's a text message number, so don't bother trying to call, because people just keep doing that. It's just, I can't believe the amount of people. It just goes red, it doesn't ring, you just embarrass yourself. You get a voicemail saying exactly what I'm saying now. Look, it's not a phone service. If I need to call, I'll call you, you know. The numbers for ordering parts, it's not a tech hotline. Don't text me for help on that. It's the VIP group for help. It's our Facebook groups. If you're a client, you post in the VIP group. We're busy doing stuff like this. I can't be on the phone doing tech hotline and working on vehicles and packing your parts kits and all that sort of thing. So please listen to what I'm saying in the videos about when to contact me. Thank you. But this is one of the, I'm going to put myself out of business here. Maybe I'll call this video how to put yourself out of business, or I'm putting myself out of business, something like that. Or I might, I've got a nice picture of, I didn't even take a good look at it. Someone just sent me a picture of a nice, I think it's a Lamborghini. I literally did not look at it, so I could be wrong. I might put that as a thumbnail and say, look, this is one you should definitely be working on. I'm talking about this, but you know, clickbait. So whatever, that's what people do. I generally don't do it, but that's what they do. So let's give that a go and just see how many people watch it or not. But I just wanted to say, yeah, the 05 and halfway through 06. So if we're talking about Euro 3, we're talking about, just to keep it simple, we're talking about this pipe here is there. That's how to tell the difference. If you've got an 05 HILUX or first half of 06, it's one type of injectors for the Euro 3 with that pipe, and they change. So if you contact me for injector kit, these ones are a lot rarer, let's say. We only keep generally, look, I restock with, I keep 5 sets on the shelf, right? So when it gets down to 2, I order 5 more. By the time I get my 5 sets, and the pipes are different as well, will pretty much be sold out. So it just depends on timing there for everybody. They can sit there for a couple of months collecting dust, or they can all go in 2 weeks. So it's a bit of a funny one, just beware with that. They can be hard to get a hold of, and the prices are going up on those ones. So you probably want to get to those sooner rather than later if you've got an old HILUX. This one's done over 400,000 Ks. There's a bit of a story behind it as well. I'll mention it for a few people a bit later on. But my point is, you know, I can do this job. Well, I can't actually. So I've got an assistant. Well, he's been an assistant for years. We've been doing jobs together, and pretty much he takes care of all this stuff now. He does it exactly the way I want it done. And of course, it's still my name, my reputation. I'm going to check the work. I'm either going to do it or check it and know that it's done exactly how I want it done. So it's just, for all intensive purposes in the Prado Hospital, it's getting done by me, if you like, because it's exactly the same as me doing it. If you've got concerns, that's why I'm up front. I've said it in other videos, pretty much. Yep, I put myself out of business, and my hands are getting cleaner and cleaner. Look at that, right? You know, doctor's hands, yeah, people say, you know, a little bit rough there. So, you know, we get on, you know, I like doing a few things here and there. So I get the hands dirty every now and then. But this is one where you can save yourself 4 figures plus, and that's what the saving's all about, by doing it yourself. Now, if you shouldn't be working on vehicles and you've got no idea, and you know what I mean, you know, if you're that person, you know what I mean, if you just shouldn't be doing it, then certainly don't do it. We'll find the best person we can for the job. Just keep watching the videos. The main thing, I suppose, if you come to us to get the parts kit, then you know you've got that part right. You didn't end up with those remanufactured injectors or there's counterfeit copies, because we will only supply brand new injectors. You might be wondering why, what's all this gunky stuff, you know, whatever. So, bit of a history with the engine, okay? Now, this is the funny thing, right? Now, I can't remember the exact numbers, but the gentleman, I think he's owned the vehicle for about 6 years. When he purchased it, it might have had, this is going to be a test by my memory, so he'll watch the video, and if he wants, he can comment and go, mate, I can't believe you remembered that. But I believe he's had it for 6 years. It's 2022 now, so he probably got it in about 16 or 15, somewhere there. It probably had about those sort of Ks on it, 160, 180, 180, 190 rings a bell, somewhere just under 200,000 maybe. But before long, he was in at Toyota dealers checking to see what history and whatever, and it had been in there in, say, 2015 or 16 perhaps, just before he got it, with 280k on one visit, maybe 290 or 300 on another visit, something along those lines. Doesn't matter, to be precise. But the point is, so the vehicle had the speedo, the odometer wound back once again. Happens a lot, okay? It happens a lot. So just be aware of that. You need to look at the condition of the vehicles. This is why you should watch our vehicle inspection playlist. There's a whole heap of vehicle inspection where we look under and over vehicles, you know, where you get to know what things should look like. And, you know, it's watching all the videos to the end before, otherwise you're going to, you know, do your dough, so to speak, right? Because you could end up with the wrong vehicle. So he's done over 100,000 Ks in it. I can't remember exactly. So we know it's done over 400,000 Ks. Now, some time ago, he did pull the injectors himself, but that's before he found my information, my videos. He didn't replace them. For whatever, I don't know why he pulled them out, how much cleaning he did, if it had blow-by. I don't think it did. I think he said it was all clear, but he was concerned that it would have blow-by. Now it's blowing a bit of smoke on startup. The injectors don't look too bad. We'll have a quick look at those in a minute because we can. But what may have happened is it might have a big lack of, because what he said was when he's draining the oil, he's seeing clumps of carbon and stuff like that in the bottom. And see how it's taken me 6 minutes to get to this point of the video. The video got so many different aspects. So you might start a video and go, yeah, he's waffling on. Like, yeah, I might be waffling on now. But I've covered a number of different subjects. I can't even speak right, but I don't edit. It's just what it is. This isn't a YouTube channel that's built to impress you, although it should impress you because it's got the genuine, accurate information like nowhere else. So if you're not subscribed with the bell on and sharing with your friends, you're probably being a bit selfish or a bit silly. Become more wise is my recommendation. Okay, so what I think is happening is it's missed some oil changes. It's been quite caked up. And I've said this in other videos. When we do your injectors, I'm not going to sit here and scrub all these parts, all these black parts and make it clean again. Because unless you do the regular oil, and it's a messy way of doing things. You want to let the oil take it out. And that's what's happened. So my prediction is all this cruddy stuff, right? And it's going to take more oil changes to get it out. But what's happening now, he's doing oil changes every 5,000 Ks since he's had it. So it's going to bring the internals of the engine back to like new again. And see all the clean parts, see all the clean bits of alloy, you know, up around there. So that's all come clean. And the rest of this black stuff, you know, we could try and clean that. Probably just end up slicing ourselves open on the camshaft lobes or something like that. And we're just not going to get in there like the oil can. So the oil has got cleaners in it. The oil will do the cleaning. This is why it's important to do regular oil changes, not only to keep it clean from clean oil, but there's just, look, I'm not going to go into it. We've talked about it in other videos, but that's what I believe is happening. He's getting the clumps from the sump when he drains the oil, not because the injectors are leaking in the blow-by, but because of this sort of stuff falling away from inside the engine, bada bing, right? So no massive blow-by issues, which is a good thing, but smoke on startup. Now, why is that? It could be because the engine's done over 400,000 Ks and there's a bit of wear on it, but it'll run perfectly well. And I'm not worried about a little puff of blue smoke on startup with a 200,000 K engine, or even 150K or 253, 400 and all that sort of thing. And the quick thing I want to mention before we take a look at those injectors is, again, somebody yesterday I read, he's got a cracked piss and he writes, oh, buy a Toyota, they said. And I know he could be just sort of joking around. He's probably watching the videos, but it's kind of like not a joke, you know. Buy a Toyota, they said, yes, the Toyotas are definitely the best. That's a fact. It's not even my opinion, you know. From experience, what we see traveling, we travel a lot in the Australian outback, in the workshop. Certainly, there's more Toyotas than anything else, and there's the least breakdowns. It was just the other day, you know, those Chinese MG things, electric. Now, on the side of the road, he's leaning there on the phone, you know, waiting for the tow truck for a while at the moment. You don't wait a few minutes or a few hours. It's a few days for a tow truck at the moment. But anyway, things are going that way. Good luck with that. Let's not talk about that. Let's have a quick look at these injectors and we'll wrap this one up. That's a video. Like I said, like, subscribe, turn the bell on so you don't miss out on the good info. So here we are. These are the injectors as they came out. It looks to me as though either, see, this is what they would normally look like, okay? I'll take a quick look at it in a minute and let you know. I think they're the originals. Yeah, they are. They're the originals, I can tell you already. They're the original injectors, manufactured in, actually, no, they're not the originals. These were replaced in 2012. There you go. So 10 years ago. We had this recently on another, I think it was another 05 HILUX like that. So let me just check my, oh no, we've got a bit of a mix here. There's also one that was replaced in 2010. We don't know when it was replaced. We just know the manufacturer date. We've got a 2010 and 2012. So there you go. It's been messed with. So it's good that it's been messed with, because if it hadn't been, it would be in a lot more trouble, okay? And you can see here at some point, something's been leaking. That's because this is the normal color, these three. And see this, you know, I'm not going to bother going into analyze. It looks like that seat might have just started leaking. And you know what I think's happened? Look, I have, because I literally, I promise you, I have not even looked at these injectors, right? My man Johnny, he pulled them out, done it, bada bing, doing the job exactly how I said. Lay them on the bench, 1, 2, 3, 4. Put the clamps next to it, put the return line there. As it all came out of the vehicle on the dirt, this is the dirty bench, right? It was clean before, but this is the dirty bench, and then it gets clean. We do stuff on the clean bench. But anyway, right, I have not analysed this yet. So this is kind of like happening live. So I'm going to get rid of that light, so I've got my hands clear here. I don't even want to touch it, it's that dirty. I'm going to get my hands dirty, right? Look, see around this side, yeah, okay. So what I think's happened is, that's quite cruddy, isn't it, compared to these ones? So he's got onto it early because he's watching the videos, he's got himself educated, and guess what? We're already about 12 minutes in. So all the people that don't get themselves educated, they're already gone. So we're only helping the people that don't need help. But don't make the mistake of only watching this video to the end. You need to watch it. You need to do some catch up, and you need to keep on it. Don't get bored with it. Don't get bored with the waffling, because there's always new information and stuff you might have missed because you didn't watch the old videos. We'll recap every now and then. But what's happened is this seat's just started leaking. I'll give it a quick clean up and let's have a closer look at it. And so what's happened is, yeah, it started leaking. It would have been, you know, and then it's taken out. The O-rings only just started leaking, so that's probably pretty hard, maybe not. You know, I could be wrong about this. And then the oil's come down to loosen it up, and that's why it's looking all oily like that compared to, you know, compared to these ones, if you know what I mean, right? So yeah, I'll clean it up and we'll talk about it just another minute. All right, look, to be honest, there's not much to see here. It's not exactly what I thought. You can see a few imperfections. It's almost like they got recycled. Something, it's just, yeah, it's messy, right? There's something messy. I think maybe even just that O-ring might have been leaking. Maybe it wasn't installed properly, because it seemed to be there was oil to the bottom. But yeah, not what I thought was happening. But yeah, certainly due for replacement like the injectors. So let's get them in there and get it running well. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked it. Hope you learned something. Hope you get where I'm coming from. Bada bing, bada boom. Catch you on the next one. See ya.